There she is.
Uh, uh, uh. Here we go. Here we go. I hope I did it right.
Cassie!
How did you know? I popped on 2 times. Got the spinning wheel of death. Saw your beautiful face, completely frozen. No idea what was happening. Logged out, swiped up on some of my other apps that were open, logged back in to you saying, I have the feeling Mercury Retrograde is fucking with Cassie.
Because I was like, we just said bye. Girl, where you at?
Hello, Cassandra. Oh, I know.
What's
Help.
up, birthday twin?
Help.
What you
We're
need,
here.
girl? Send it
Oh
to
no.
us at the chat line.
We want to help.
Can
We
you
want to
tell her
help. We want to talk about it.
again? Tell her that number again, Cassie.
It's
Mm-hmm.
313-416-9541.
Yes.
You know, you can
Text
pop
us.
something in here if you want to, whatever you feel comfortable sharing with the people of the internet. And we will talk about it.
But I highly recommend you use that text thread because really focus.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad we are not going to let Mercury steal our show and
Not
steal
today.
our thunder. It's still lurking. We'll talk about that later. But guys, the new moon in Virgo today. We are in Virgo season, aka like I said, Beyonce season. So we're just gonna go a quick rundown, let you know where we are in Virgo season and where the planets are. So the sun moved into Virgo last week on the 22nd of August. We do, again, as I stated, have the new moon in Virgo today. You're welcome to see us because we like to be on here for the moons. Both of us have Cancer energy coursing through these veins. So the moon is mother.
We love her.
We love her. And then the full moon will be on the 17th of this month. But for the new moon, just a quick side note, if you do like to set intentions, Cassie and I do, and these intentions, I always say, do them how you feel comfortable doing them. There is no right, wrong way to do it, whatever you feel called to do. I like to look at my chart and make sure I know where my rising sign is. And then I like to look at the house in which the moon is occurring in. So Virgo is, hey, so in Virgo, Mercury is terrific, boy, and I'm here for it.
It's so extra. It's so extra out here.
The new moon in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo, it's like, this is my home planet. This is where I can act the biggest fool, and it does. But anyway, if you do want to set intentions, look at your chart, start with your rising sign, and then just see where each sign falls into that house. You may not have planets in that house, and that is not the important part, but it still is a part of your chart that does rule. The sign that rules that house is going to show you. Show you how this is gonna work. You are correct. The phone is definitely a paid actor. If Cassie knows anybody about paid actors, it's Cassie.
Phone's trying to get royalties out of me. Get the fuck out of here.
So, after the show, set your intentions, get someplace quiet, and really decide. Virgo is a very analytical sign, a very about the detail sign. Just don't get lost in the details. It can be judgmental and critical, so really try to discern how that critical eye is. We have Mercury finally going the right direction. They went direct in Leo on the 28th last week, and it will move into Virgo next week. So Mercury is just, and the piece de la resistance right now is Venus is living her best life in her home sign of Libra. That moved there on the 29th last week. So love is just real, cute.
Yeah.
It's
Things
like
are pretty. Things
are
pretty.
They're just
even if they're messy, they're a pretty mess.
Mars is in Gemini and will move into Cancer in a couple days on the 4th. Jupiter is also in Gemini And then we come to these lovely retrograde outer planets that we have. We have Saturn and Neptune both retrograde in Pisces. Uranus has just retrograded in Capricorn, or I'm sorry, in Taurus yesterday. But we already know Big Daddy Pluto, Capricorn, is retrograde. That's so confusing. Let's try again. Big Daddy Capricorn is retrograde in Pluto as of yesterday.
Reverse. Big Daddy Pluto retrograde back into Capricorn as of yesterday.
What she said, because Cassie's right. And this is significant because the beginning of Pluto and Capricorn was in 2008. President Obama was elected president, and that was an interesting revolution for the housing market, for capitalism, for the Kardashians, for a lot of things that we saw evolve over this entire Pluto and Capricorn period. Now that it's retrograding back for the last time from yesterday, September the 1st, all the way, okay, it's going to be there all the way till November 17th. Yes, after the election, all the way there. So this last bit of whatever needs to, okay, so y'all got to let go and let God this, because, you know.
Yeah. Reminder, Pluto has not been in Capricorn since the founding of this nation. Okay. That was the last time that Pluto was in Capricorn. So we as Americans are going through some stuff. If that has not already been evidenced by looking around at things.
Are you awake every day?
Just know that the astrology supports this fuckery, but we are close to done with it, with the Pluto and Capricorn energy. And the Pluto and Aquarius period, I think, is going to be really, really pivotal to what happens next and what happens for the next couple hundred years in this country. So yeah, we will
to us as a collective. Let's remember that this is about a collective experience at this point, because we've all watched it happen individually, but this is a very collective experience. So
yeah,
you know, we've been telling y'all, it ain't like y'all didn't hear it. If you wasn't listening, go back. I promise you, we have said it. Speaking of unhinged things, Mercury retrograde was a mess for our current events, because DJT, watching a Gemini become more unhinged during Mercury retrograde in Virgo, was a sight to see. So RFK has dropped out and endorsed him. Shout out to his wife, Cheryl Hines, for being like,
not no sound.
oh,
No.
what? Anybody else got no sound? Mic check.
I can hear you. You've been coming in and out, but I assumed it was my AirPods.
I think it's mine too. Do you think I should take them out?
I don't know. I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna take mine.
Okay.
Go live mic.
How about now?
And now?
Oh,
hey.
Okay. It's spotty.
Hi.
Oh, dang. Okay, well, I appreciate the honest feedback. Clearly, we gonna not do that anymore. So, whatever. Mercury retrograde. This is a Mercury show. Okay, this Mercury's still in the show. We're just here. We're paid actors too, because I don't know what we're doing. Speaking of, so RFK endorsed DGT. There was a debacle, fiasco, whatever you want to call it, at the Arlington National Cemetery with DJT and his people. Anyway, also there was some Republicans trying to use the Dred Scott ruling to disqualify VP Harris because she's not really a citizen. Because if you know, I'm going to summarize the best that I can. The Dred Scott ruling is basically saying that Black people aren't citizens. So anyway, but Jack Smith Smith. Refiling of the indictment. And on a side note, the Lincoln Project, y'all have been the MVPs this entire time because the ads are adding. And I love it. I'm here for calling people out because I feel like we know 2024 is the year of like people getting, put to the carpet.
Yeah, the truth, the veil is being lifted. Cat Williams started it. Virgo King. Hey, shout out.
Full circle. We do have the ocean still eating billionaires. So lucky for the regular folks who don't have yachts or anything. I think we're all right. It is sad. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not sad, but not a regular yacht, a super yacht.
Yeah.
A super yacht. Anyway, and then the Georgia Board of Elections, there is some discrepancy. I live in the state of Georgia. There has been some questions as to whether they are going to certify the ballots. They have a discretion to not, if they feel like the number count is wrong, they can stop it. So there are people kind of fighting this because we do not want another repeat, and Georgia was at the center of it. So shout out to our Secretary of State, and hopefully and the governor for hopefully working us out and getting it together, because it can't be us.
No.
Okay, we can't drop the ball this year. No. Stacey Abrams done worked too hard. Okay.
For real.
And did.
For real.
And did.
Yeah.
But that was just a bare minimum of Mercury retrograde. I don't know about y'all. I know Cassie and I just prayed.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Because that's all we all got. It's never like, I think Cassie and I have like established enough balance within ourselves where we're like, okay, well, it's fine. It's still, trust me, we never are unscathed. Okay. It may not be, but we feel it too.
If you're a witchy person in your friend group, I guarantee that during this Mercury retrograde period and probably this past weekend, you got at least 4 to 6 messages like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on in the planets? Because things seem so fucked up right now. I know I did. And I was like, well, how much time do you have?
Because what happened was exactly,
things are not chill. They're not chill.
And they won't be. But on the plus side, well, tell your husband I'm gonna answer that in just a moment. Because that's a good question. On the plus side, if you watch the DNC, because I believe that happened in between the show. I think the last one started. There was the first day of the DNC, so it's over. We were graced with the presence of the lovely Michelle Obama, and she just reminded everybody that VP Harris is going for one of them black jobs. That's what they are. Them black jobs. Yes, they are. So that's what those are. If you ever want to know, that's what a black job is. President. And then the presidential debate will be next week. So I'm quite interested to see how that's going to play out. But again, check your voter registration. I don't care what state you live in. Check it at least once a week up until the election and up until whenever your voter registration cuts off. I believe in Georgia, it's sometime in October. Cassie just dropped vote.org in the chat. So just know what you got to do. And
those deadlines, you can find it on that website. It's nonprofit, not trying to send you anywhere crazy to make you carry a clipboard around your neighborhood. But do that if you feel so compelled to. It's your life. But yeah, you can. Here in Michigan, we have same-day registration. It's fun, nice little bonus of living in this state. But hey, check it out where you live, see what the rules are, see how badly your government has tried to fuck you out of your vote or not, whatever. And yeah, that's real. I don't blame anybody for not wanting to canvass. You can text bank if you're feeling like getting active this election season. They can't shoot you from a fake Google phone number.
They be shooting you. You right. As we were talking about Mercury retrograde earlier, my voter registration was inactive, and I had to find a way to make it active. And so again, I was panicked for a moment, but it came all through. Came all through. So speaking of Mercury retrograde, we got a question on the chat line. Good old Rachel. We love Rachel. Rachel has been a guest on the show. I won't tell you when, but she has been. We love her. Rachel had a very active Mercury retrograde, if you will. There was her and her partner are traveling across the country, and they had a couple mishaps in a row. Not just one, but like major things, you know, no housing, car issues, job. It was what was the other one?
Multiple, because they had an accident issue.
Oh, that's right.
Road issue.
Right. Yeah. It was just a lot going on. And so she really wanted advice about how to handle the Mercury retrograde. And so, Cassie, what would you tell her?
So it was interesting timing, because she was basically reaching out to us right after Mercury had gone direct, and was at the point where kind of these issues, if not being resolved, she was at the point where she had many options. And I think everybody, when you're thinking about Mercury retrograde, it's important to remember that Mercury has a shadow period for about a couple weeks before and a couple weeks after, where it's really good, if you can, to just take a beat. And for Rachel, that is what we advised her to do. And in addition to that, locking keys in the car is the worst. Rachel happens to be a Cancer Scorpio. So she's got a ton of intuitive and sixth sense energy, and to really pay attention to that. And when the signals, the language signals and the communication isn't making sense, try to stay close to your body. I would say, how are you physically feeling about things? And it's hard to kind of interpret that, but like, you know, if things are making you feel tight and nervous and heartbeaty, that's not good. Look for the things that make you feel relaxed, make you feel like you can take a breath, and, you know, try to stay attuned to that energy. So yeah, Tanae was taking the lead in that conversation and was dead on, you know, take a minute before you decide what to do.
Just enjoy where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And they're in a beautiful place that has great scenery. And so I think being in nature, and like you said, being able to really take a beat, because they didn't really have any obligations. They didn't have to get back to work, and, you know, like not a fast pace, like there wasn't an immediacy to anything that needed to happen. And so this was probably Mercury retrograde being like, okay, you really need to just enjoy. Enjoy, you know. And I think that sometimes that's a good lesson in Mercury retrograde, is just really appreciating and enjoying the things when they are good, because they can turn on it.
Yeah. So should we talk about our Scorpio pal and what he should be doing with the new moon in Virgo?
Yes, let's talk about that first. Okay, so you go ahead. I know you already have.
No, I was going to go back. I was going to say, going back to your original advice, it would be, you know, check your chart, and knowing where your rising sign will tell you which house Scorpio lands in for you. So I'm a Taurus rising. So, I'm sorry, which house Virgo is in for you, because we're dealing with the Virgo new moon. So I'm a Taurus rising. So Virgo ends up in my 5th house, and also pushes into my 6th house, which it naturally rules. But the 5th house is actually the house of creativity and sex. It's very expansive. It's typically ruled by Leo. And I will say, for all of us with this Virgo moon and how it is aspected by Gemini, it's, you know, square to Mars and Jupiter, both in Gemini right now. I think we're all going to, don't
allow your intentions to become a place for you to criticize yourself. I'm going to caution everybody against that, because I personally have been feeling that energy a lot. And when I was thinking about it in my own chart, I was trying to think about how can I form habits and make small adjustments, which is something Virgos are good at, formulating routines and habits and structure, you know, kind of micromanagey type structures, but in a way that those things support my most expansive and creative self, and not to allow that energy to make me feel like I'm not good enough, the things I'm working on aren't good enough, or, you know, I'm never going to get this done because I have too many things. Like, you know, resist that at all costs. And Scorpios tend to be very intense. And if you are feeling this, right, this, you know, change in the tides, Pluto going back into Capricorn, and we have all these outer planets in retrograde, to really not be too hard on yourself at this time. That would be my tip. What do you think, Tanae?
You know, I really like that one. I think that, again, it's an earth sign new moon, and anything grounding, anything that gets you, especially because Virgos are the airiest earth sign, right? Mm-hmm. That being a little more grounded in practical reality, tangible things. It's still fairly nice, I think, where everybody is right now. Go outside, take a moment, smell some air, you know, if you got a garden around there, take a walk or go to a farm. Anything that really gets you earthy and grounded, that doesn't take too much critical thinking. I think that staying away from that, because you can go too far into the critical thinking with the Virgo mind, and the Virgo moon. It's just everything is scrutinized. It's just like, you know, look at how beautiful, like, we are about to get into fall harvesting season, so I'm sure a lot has bloomed. You know, you can also look back on your Pisces new moon intentions, which are about 6 months ago, because the Virgo full moon was around there. And so kind of see what's transpired, and, you know, look and see how you want to move forward from there. So there's just a lot of ways. Just don't take it so seriously.
Yeah. Do something a Scorpio and a Virgo are never do, and give yourself credit for what you've accomplished. To your point about going back and looking back at the Pisces season, or even if that means, you know, if you're not somebody who's like, you know, your husband may not be a regular witchy person who journals his intentions or whatever, but like surely he's, you know, posted or had, you know, can go back through your photos and just see what you were up to, and just like be thankful you're here today, and think of what you have gone through and grown through, and just know that you have the strength to keep going, to keep growing through more, to be even more expansive and a better version of yourself. And that doesn't have to come at the cost of, like, you know, the grind, or like forcing yourself to just be in a constant like work mode. Like, you know, we have Venus in Libra. Let it be pretty, let it be easy, let it be like, let it be loving.
And Scorpio, if anything, you are used to change and transformation, so go with the flow. It'll be all right. You know what I mean? Like, of all the signs that transformation is the most helpful, Scorpio, that is it. So, and, you know, we're coming up close to your season, so, you know, just relax and pregame for a minute. You know? We got a couple months, but, you know, we're almost there.
Right.
So yeah, that's our advice. But now we're gonna go into, I think, our favorite segment. We're gonna do some Virgo celeb check-ins. Cassie and I each have one, and then one person gets all the accolades. So I'm gonna go first for my first one. It is going to be the Honorable Ketanji Brown Jackson. Okay. Yes, all, ma'am, we give all the props. I'm just going to run down this amazing woman's what she's done prior to being a Supreme Court justice. She was the vice chair of the United States Sentencing Commission. She was the U.S. District Court for D.C., U.S. Court of Appeals for the District Court of D.C., and now she's currently the Supreme Court justice. She went to Harvard College and Harvard Law. She's the first Black woman on the United States Supreme Court. And she is overall probably she is the most qualified person on our United States Supreme Court right now. Full stop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She is amazing, just overqualified for the job. And also like a reminder that Clarence Thomas has been accepting private jet rides, vacations, his godson's tuition being paid by various billionaires. And Ketanji Brown Jackson disclosed that Oprah sent her a flower arrangement that she suspected was worth more than $300 or whatever the suggested limit
it was. Right.
Like,
for a flower arrangement?
Right. Like, because she is fucking on the up and up, and she is trying to prove that she doesn't have any fucking conflicts, and she's coming to the job the way you should come to it, which is to have integrity and to interpret the laws of the United States. Like, that is the job description.
Not to your advantage, just to the law. Just to the law. And I think she also agrees with certain oversight for the Supreme Court justice, which I feel like you should want people to check you. That's what the checks and balances are supposed to be for anyway. So unless you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, what's the problem? That hard. Just curious. Who you got, girl?
Love her. So my Virgo celeb is a just female rock legend, a 30+ year career in music. She recently celebrated, I want to say, her 58th maybe birthday. I don't remember what the caption was. 56th, something like that. That would be Shirley Manson, lead singer of Garbage. A personal heroine of mine. I was obsessed with Garbage when I was turned on to them in middle school, and completely kind of redefined for me what was acceptable to talk about as a female musician, and be as somebody who previously had been super into Spice Girls up until 2 years before. It was no shade to the Spice Girls, love them too, but it was very much ability to embrace my shadow self, right? And really spoke to that part of yes, girl crush 100% spoke to me there. And I really wanted to shout out Shirley Manson because she has given over Garbage's socials to continuing to try and shine light on the genocide in Palestine and Congo and Sudan. And I really give credit to celebrities because I do think they are due some when they actually stand up and use their voice in support of people who are oppressed and who are victims and who the powers that be desperately don't want to hear from. And so shout out to her, and I hope she has a fucking fantastic birthday and that I get to see them live because they're one of my bucket list bands that I have not yet live. So
you already know how you do, so you'll see her. And finally, as I said in the beginning, it is Virgo, aka Beyonce season. She is our third and final celeb. I mean, my little quick, whatever. I'm still bumping Cowboy Carter. Don't care. Sir Davis whiskey will be out. I have seen all of y'all. I'm a little jealous. I'm a whiskey girl. I probably should get on it, but I'm gonna wait. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I won't get it, but I'm gonna try. And also VP Harris uses freedom, so there's that. And also I forgot, for the Olympics, she did the athlete's intro, and she was the athlete's intro video. So yeah, we already know Queen Bee doing whatever and everything and all the things, because that's just Queen Bee.
We will celebrate her every Virgo season because she is the
Virgo season. Yeah, she is Virgo season. And that's why y'all act the way y'all do, okay? We know. We know. It's okay. Y'all, some of y'all have earned it. The rest of y'all.
We love you, Virgos.
But as we said earlier, we hope everybody had a good Mercury retrograde, because we're past it. So now we're about to enjoy Virgo season. If you do need to hit us up at the chat line, it is
313-416-9541. Once again, that is 313-416-9541. You can text us. You can leave us a voicemail. You can send us a voice memo. You can call, but please leave a voicemail. Somebody called and didn't leave a voicemail. I'm sorry, I'm not calling a stranger back. I don't know.
No, we can just let you tell us all your business.
Yeah.
We're not calling back. And also, before we head out, I'm gonna do one thing, but I just want to say, we live in a time where we can choose to be kind. And Virgo season is also about service, and not necessarily selflessness, but service of others. And we have to realize that, like, you can be kind. It's not, you don't know what everybody's going through. So that's my PSA. And with that, because this reminds me of Virgos, we're gonna hit up the Oracle of the Fairies, because this looks like a Virgo card. And so we will see what the fairies have. I guess I, as always, should show you. This is the back. And then we have all of these.
Pretty.
Yeah, all of these lovely cards. So they each have just, little messages on them. And I'm going to start to shuffle here in just a moment. And, Magical Cassie's going to kind of tell us which one it is, because you know how she do. Every single time. We're like, dang, girl, you already knew what the congregation needed from y'all today. Come on with it. Come on with it. All right. Let me know when you're ready, Cassie, because I am on my shuffle.
Let's go.
Let's go. See, Cassie is y'all don't even know how magical Cassie be. So we have divination. Embrace your powers of divination, which are especially strong right now. You have the ability to see your current situation with crystal clear clarity right after Mercury retrograde. How crazy is that, guys? Jeez. See, this mama. I would tell y'all something, but I'm just saying, me and Cassie, every time. Every time. All right. This fairy wants to remind you that you can use divination to help you through challenging circumstances. Your energy is strong at this time, and you have the ability to see things that others may not. Perhaps someone close to you would benefit from your spiritual gifts. Anything can be used for divination purposes. These cards, crystals, a crystal ball, the flames in a fire, the stars in the night sky, water. In fact, anything that opens a psychic doorway can be used and will enable you to see backwards and forwards in time. Divination also brings you fully into the present moment. It's not about fortune telling for thrills, although future truths can be revealed. It's more about working with the divine powers to reveal what will help towards spiritual progression for yourself and others. Divination is a serious spiritual practice and isn't something to be dabbled with for amusement. You might experience visions or come to know things that need to be handled delicately and with empathy when sharing with others. If you feel confident, you could give readings to friends and family. You may feel drawn to do this professionally too. If this feels right, seek the guidance of someone who has been working with divination for a while and whom you respect. You can use divination alongside any other spiritual technique.
Well,
wow. I just want you guys to get. You know what this card reminds me of? The Hermit card.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And in tarot, the Hermit is the one of the major arcanas for Virgo, but most of the time the Hermit has a light to guide them, and it's usually from going within that the Hermit finds the answers. And it looks like this fairy is meditating by a fire and really going within, and you see how the fairy is in nature, as we talked about. So remember that. Well, guys, we will see you back for our full moon in Pisces in a couple of weeks.
Eclipse. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, that too. So have a great new moon in Virgo. Set your intentions whenever you're ready and let them go once you do. Cassie girl, next time I see you, this debate gonna be over with. We gonna have more that's not coming out. But guys, thank you once again. Hit us up on the chat line. We always here for you. It's all love, and we out of here because what? Peace.